This is Mark Cannizzaro for the New York Post. We broke some news of the Post today about Phil Mickelson going to the Saudi-backed Greg Norman-fronted LIV Golf series, which frankly was kind of the worst kept secret in golf, but everybody was waiting for Phil to make the move, and he was finally signed on with Norman, literally kind of last minute, because the first tournament is this week outside of London, beginning on Thursday. So as I was speaking to some of my sources, he was literally in the air, having just signed the contract. His plan is to be in London on Tuesday for a pairings party, play a practice round on Wednesday, and off he goes on Thursday. It's a fascinating dynamic here. There's a lot of layers to this story because the PGA Tour and its commissioner, Jay Monahan, has been very, very hardline with their stance, saying that these players are not allowed to go play with the Saudi league, and with threats of being banned and other issues there. So, essentially the large domino dropped last week when Dustin Johnson signed on for a reported $125 million. And we all kind of figured that Phil was going to be there at some point, but it was a money negotiation thing. It makes sense for Phil. He's 51 years old. He picked off, his sixth major a year ago at the PGA Championship. He wasn't going to play a ton on the PGA Tour anyway. He still picks and chooses his events. So, and this is obviously a huge moneymaker for him. So he actually came out with a statement today on his Twitter account, right off the bat, apologizing for comments he made that were very detrimental to the Saudi league and as well to the PGA Tour. He has, of course, been essentially in self-exile since February, since some news broke of some of these comments that he made to a reporter who he said it was a private conversation. The reporter who's writing a book on Phil ended up publishing it, and it kind of sent his life spiraling. He's trying to get it back into play now. He's talked a lot about being in therapy. My colleague Bob Harrig from Sports Illustrated Morning Read today ended up getting a hold of Phil on the phone before he got into his plane to London. And Phil, interestingly, was also very apologetic, very contrite about the things that he said, spoke about the fact that he's been in therapy, and he's also been working on his gambling issues, which he called embarrassing and having gotten out of control about a decade ago. So there's been a lot swirling around Phil, obviously. But the one big question we kind of have, he did answer in those comments to Bob, and that's about the U.S. Open next week at Brookline at the Country Club. He's come out now and stated that he plans to play the majors, and he plans to be at the U.S. Open next week, and he's been told by nobody that he can't. And the U.S. Open also happens to be the only major championship Phil has not won amongst the four, and he's been trying to complete that coveted Grand Slam for a number of years now, since he won the British Open in 2013. So fascinating news will continue to go around Phil. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of attention when he gets to London, and fascinating, elements to come. The story is not finished, and Phil seems to always have a lot of dramatics surrounding him. So this is par for the course, no pun intended.